Welcome to the track guide for the Euterpe Icebreaker. This incredible track navigates pilots through the stormy mountains of Euterpe. It is a prime example of how the XGR community bands together to design tracks at various locations around Stanton. Steve CC came up with this design, and with some help from the community, we tidied up the track limit some during one of the XGR live events. So, I'm happy to hand you over to Steve CC, whom will guide you through this beautiful track.
Hey racers, this course has a great flow at speed, but we're going to take it a little slow and run through all of the turns for you. With high winds and blowing snow, visibility can be challenging at times on this track, so I'll do my best to highlight each of the turns and limits. The start-finish to this track is over the ice, at the point where you can see the mountain jut furthest out into the ice. It's this cluster of rocks just on the edge. You're going to want to stay to the left and below the height of the top of that cluster of rocks. This first section of the track, you're going to stay entirely over the ice. Head east over the ice until you get to the first turn, Ice Pick. You're going to make a dramatic 180-degree turn, staying entirely over the ice, and pointed at this bay right in front of you. As you enter the bay, stay below the level of that peak you can see on the left there as you head up into the climb. Mountains make this sort of beautiful chute here. You're going to fly through this valley, staying to the right and below that peak you can see on your left. Make a gradual right turn, and then a gradual left turn, which will line you up to this next track limit. You're going to stay below and to the right of this shallow ridge you can see just there on the left. Next is a sprint towards the turn Razor's Edge. Stay low through here as other racers may be crossing overhead from left to right. Coming into Razor's Edge, you're going to stay to the left and below that cluster of sort of polka dot rocks on the top of that ridge. You're then making a hard right turn, heading up through this valley, which will set you up for the next turn, Nosedive. Coming through this valley, you're going to make a hard pitch down, which might be a struggle in certain ships, depending on how they fly in atmosphere. Follow the line of this dark gray ridge on your left, making sure to stay below that dark gray section and the outside of that ridge there. Making a left turn, we're coming up on Icebreak 1, the pointy rock you can see sticking up just on the edge of this ridge here. Make sure to stay to the outside and below the height of that rock. Making a gradual left, you're going to point directly at this sort of gate between these two pokey rocks here. So fly between these two rocks, making sure to stay below the level of the one on the left side. Now follow the ridge line and head towards the wall, this large dark gray ridge that you can see up ahead. You're going to make a hard right turn and follow the wall back down towards the coast. The limit to this turn is that spiky rock you can see in the center of the screen. Just make sure to stay to the left of that rock and below the height of this ridge. I've definitely hit the wall many times during practice, so you may need to watch your speed. Coming here is Icebreak 2. You can see these pointy rocks poking out of the snow there. Just stay below and to the right of those rocks. Following the mountains, we're coming up on the back of the course. The limit for this turn is called Spike. It is that sort of unnatural looking spiky rock on the edge of that ridge. Just stay to the outside of that. Making a left turn, we're going to be pointed at the dome, which can be hard to see in certain visibility conditions, so you can point at about 105, 110 degree bearing. Coming up on the dome, we're going to make a sweeping left turn, going around the right side of the dome. The limit for this turn are these spiky rocks you can just see in the center of the screen there. Just go around to the right and below the height of those rocks, and this will line you up towards the chute. You're potentially going to be flying over racers who are going into Razor's Edge, so just stay high in this turn. It can be tough to see from the other side of the valley, but we're aiming for this little notch between this little peak on the left and the right. And you're going to make a right turn and follow the coast and set you up for the start finish. You don't need to get back over the ice until you get to the start finish, which is the same cluster of rocks just at the edge. Once you hit these, you need to be below the level of the rocks and over the ice again. Good luck, pilot, and enjoy the icebreaker.